Hello there, this is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another video. Presentation is very important. Now y'all notice, got on my nice shirt, have on some glasses. Think about the image that it portrays. More serious, more to the point. It's something that people will pay attention to because it's like, okay, he's saying something very important. As opposed to what I might wear in my car video. Of course, I'll be coming from the gyms and everything. I ain't gonna be dressed up. But also, if you notice, my presentation is more rough hewn. It's more, cursing a bit more. And, of course, yeah, it's popular with many people. And people get they'll take in the message on that level. But what if I were to discuss something of a more serious matter while driving? It wouldn't be the same thing. Or a more academic manner. Because what I'm presenting is not in congruence with what the image, what I'm saying is not in congruence with the image I'm presenting. And it's very important. One of the things is, as we go through society, like it or not, you are judged on how you look. You are judged by the book cover. And indeed, even in the actual book business, I am a publisher. Even there, I'm very concerned about paying great attention to the book cover because people are going to judge it on that cover. People are going to come over. Now, as we go through life, people are going to judge us by our image. Like it or not, because they're going to look at how we dress, how we presenting ourselves. Like if you're going on a job interview, it's very important what clothes you wear. It's very important how your necktie is tied. If you're wearing a suit, you got a good haircut. Because if you go in that same interview and you looking jacked up, it's not going to work for you. Understand that. It's not going to work for you. They're not going to hire you. They'll be polite to you, but they're not going to hire you. If you go into an event, you got to be concerned with how you are dressed, what kind of image you're presenting. I remember I went with a lady friend to this high affair. You're talking millionaires there, more upper class, not upper middle class, upper class event a few years ago. And I remember I'm driving down to her city, and then it just hit me. I left my watches at home. I actually came off the highway, stopped in the store, and got a decent watch, not the best watch, a decent watch. And then I'm sitting at a table later on that evening with her. Next to me is a millionaire dentist. So it was just like, and of course, everybody's paying attention to how each other is dressed and everything. If you go to more formal affairs, you judge just as much on that. And indeed, when you even in the business community, yeah, you got a lot of people, more casual and all of that. Those are younger people. You look at those more established businesses, you got to have a certain presentation. You got to have a certain haircut. You got to have, your facial hair might be limited. In fact, there are probably still some corporations that discourage even a little bit of facial hair. You got to have the right shoes. I remember when I was working in downtown DC, a hustle for guys was just doing shoe shine. And they would have these attorneys, these executives, these CPAs lined up. Like a guy could make a couple $100 every day just shining shoes because that's part of the presentation. See, understand that. See, and that image, everything of that nature is extremely important. Indeed, let me shout out Kevin Samuels, may he rest in peace. And one of the things with that, people know him for, talking to the ladies and everything, but before that, what was his main thing? Image. That was one of his main things. That was his big thing, your presentation. Indeed, there's a lot of people who might not get to where they can get based on presentation. In fact, I remember a lesson I learned my early days with my books. I was at this book signing. I was doing a book signing for someone, and I was just very casual with it. The bookstore owner, he had to let me know. He did what a brother would really do. He took me aside and said, okay, you know, you're all right for the day, but next time you need to come up looking like a player. You know? You need to look like a player. If you present a book talking about nice guys and players, you need to be dressed sharper. I was like, okay, you're right. You know? And he was right. He was right. I got too complacent. Sometimes you got to be reminded of stuff. But your presentation, you got to think about it. If you think about in business, where you working, think about how you dressed. Even if it's casual, you got to think about it. That's why, you know, with businessmen, executives, they're very concerned. And shine those shoes. Now, I'm known for saying, oh yeah, they'll get your dick sucked. But your shoes are being checked out, you doing business. Imagine you trying to do business with somebody and your shoes all scruffy and everything. You know? Imagine. I want y'all to think about that. Would you want to do business with somebody who can't take care of a basic like that? You know? It's very important. It's very important. And the reason why I say that, a lot of men out here don't think about their presentation. A lot of men don't focus on presenting themselves a certain way. If you talk about man gets woman, women reading a lot into how a man is dressed. Like I'm famous for talking about those, you know, your shoes getting your dick sucked. I've had several women, they say, yeah, they'll start with the shoes. They'll start with the shoes. Don't think they're not paying attention. Of course, there's some guys who didn't want to believe that, but that tells me about them. They looking at your fit, and then they're going to try to ascertain, you know, what level you are at life. If you walking around with some Timbs, you walking around with some Timbs or something, they might be like, all right, you got a little bit thug in them, if they like a thug. But you walking around with some, you know, some hard-sole dress shoes, they're going to be like, oh, okay. What's he about? What's important for him? You know? He got those suits on. Oh, okay, he must be important. He's looking sharp. He must have some importance. Understand that. Be very concerned. And even to the point, even when you casual, how are you presenting your clothes? How are you presenting? If they're all dirty and stuff, it could be very casual. You just hanging out, you might be going to the gym, but are your clothes clean? Are your clothes clean? You know? Like every man should have an ironing board. You know, my shirts, most of the time, most of my shirts, all my dress shirts, not even most of them, all of my dress shirts, I always get them dry cleaned. I haven't washed a dress shirt or like a button-down shirt in my wash machine in over a decade. And the one time, and even then, before that, several decades before that, even then, that one time, I remember that one time, it was just something, it actually got some stuff on it, and I had to I was trying to get it out. And it didn't really work, so I was like, oh, okay. But any other time, I keep them dry cleaned. And even then, I keep an iron if I gotta touch it up. But it's the presentation. It's very important, you know? Now, when I'm more relaxed, when I have more fun with it, I might be up in a t-shirt or something. But it's very important. You want to think about your presentation. What are you presenting? It sends a message to everyone. It sends a message. It's part of nonverbal communication. You communicating, okay, this is what I'm about. And trust me, it's not just, women aren't just reading it, future employers are reading it. People who you might want to do business are reading it. Because that's just reality. We're going to make that judgment, good or bad, but it still happens. You might as well present your best, all right? Even me wearing these glasses right now, you're gonna, as soon as you probably saw them, you were probably like, oh, he's getting more serious. Okay, let me see what he has to say. But if I was saying the same thing and I had just a t-shirt on, no glasses, you know, not sitting up as much, you'd probably be like, think about presentation, even your posture and how you walk, presentation. All right? So anyway, that's all I have for right now. I will get back with you later. Peace and blessings.